All right, well, hello. My name is James Rudolph II. I am an actor, singer, and dancer here in Nashville. I am born and raised here, so this is just like my home, and I love to be able to perform in my
So can
hometown.
you tell us a little bit about like what actors have to do, maybe just starting with auditioning?
Well, auditioning. So most times with an audition, depending on whether you sing, I have to do sing. So a normal audition for me, you have to do. I always say you're 3 minutes. So that means you have two contrasting monologues, one comedic and one dramatic, and then they'll get you to do 16 bars to 32 bars of a song. And normally they don't want all of that to go over your 3 minutes. So I'm always like, you prepare your 3 minutes. So depends on like what the situation is. Some a lot of times, well, mostly for the last few years, you do season auditions. So that's where different companies will come and see you for like everything that they're doing at the same time. So that's just your first step. So that's the 3 minutes that you put together. So then let's say they like you and they're like, yes, all right. So we're moving on to the next step. So then that's where you have a callback. So that means the directors will call you back to let them see what you do with their work, with the work that they're trying to put on. So then you use it, then they'll give you how you it's one of my favorites. It's like the cold reading, and it's like you come in, you literally just get to play with your friends. That's what I like to do. So you come in and they hand you scripts, and you go read this person, and then read this person, and you bounce back and forth and to figure out. So the directors can figure out where the best to put you if they can use you. Oh, then you book it. Yes, we booked it. All right. So booked it now. You have the script. And so now you have this script and you have to figure out your lines, see what lines you're doing, what characters you're doing. And so once you figure out your characters, then you have to memorize. So a lot of times when people say, oh, that's the first thing you think about, memorizing the lines. But yes, memorizing the lines are a really big deal. But past that, you kind of want to get your lines done at a good amount of time because you really can't like interact with your castmates until you get the book out of your hand. So if you're constantly doing this, you can't look you in your eyes so like we can act and make moments and create these characters better. In a professional setting, normally no more than 3 weeks. I think about 14 to 17 days. And it's an accelerated process. So that's why it's like you really kind of gotta make sure you do your homework in these situations because you only have so much time. And it's like so when these artists, these teaching artists come and show you things, they really don't have time to show you over and over again. So you gotta make sure you focus and pay attention. And you take your notes and you do your recordings and everything you can to make sure that you're staying on top of your stuff. Like I said, just I'm always like being the best castmate that you could be. I'm always the one that's like you work really hard to get this this particular gig or performance that you're doing. I never want the director to be like, you know what, I probably should have went with the other guy.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
Mm-hmm. The best way I can say is like you're making a painting. So like a
Okay.
rehearsal process, literally a play process is a painting. So we start off with the canvas and then we all get our colors or whatever to add to it. So we've worked on the painting so much to where it's like, all right, we've got the guest artists where I say like the crew and you have like the musicians and everybody else come in because we got this final like set to like make sure we like color it and make it nice. So it's literally all of the hard work that everyone's been doing has now coming together to now make this a really pretty picture. So it's like you have to make sure you do your homework and do your stuff because when you get here, you want to make sure that everybody like has their best stuff so that way you make the best picture.
Right, right. And so what do you see as a challenge for actors or other people in your field? What kind of challenges have you faced being an actor?
You have to enjoy the word no. And I know that that's funny. I know that's funny because it's like no. We just hate rejection as people, as without a career being put into involved. We just hate no. So now imagine that you're signing up for something that you're going to get no a lot. And not in the fact that you're going to get no, you're going to get a lot of no's that you had nothing to do with.
Mm,
Literally, you had a no, like as soon as you walked in, they knew they couldn't use you before you opened your mouth. And that
mm,
no, and you already had a no. So you have to know that this is one thing I say. No amount of no's take away your talent.
it's a good point. It's a
you
very good
have to
point.
you have to know because if you have to believe that like hey, this is not the end, this is not going to be the last time that I'm in here showing off my 3 minutes, so you just got to keep that push. That's been my hardest one, because it's like you think you work hard on it, you work so hard to get this stuff together, and so now you in here and you gave them your best, and it's like they didn't like it or they didn't want it, and then like so what do I do? That hurts. But hey, for me, it's always like I feel like I'm here to bring to fruition whatever the director sees in his head. I'm one of those people. It's like if you have the want for it, because the thing is, we want for a lot of things, but the fear, for whatever reason, stops us in doing it. So whether it be like I wanted to sing, I want to do that, or whatever like that, and we get in our heads about it, so we don't do it. So I'm one of those that's like, that's why I said like to get my first drama teacher ever. I went to Meg's Magnet School here in town. Her name is Carl Bluestone, and I love her to death. Love her dearly. She told me, because I would have never at all actually think I would end up on the stage. I bless this woman for that. She told me, because I was doing monologues in 7th grade. We were doing monologues for a project or whatever. And she pulled me to the side one day and said, James, I don't know what you plan on doing with your life, but I would suggest, if you want to, why don't you check out to do some community theater at some point? I think you really be good at it. And I always had that in the back of my head, because you know what? So when a time finally got to where I tried to do things, I actually was good at it. And I really liked it and I really enjoyed it. But it's one of those, it's like a lot of times we don't have like even that one person to be like, that one push, like even just the smallest, slightest push in the right direction to get you where you're going. So this is let me be this random person you don't know, be the push. If you feel it, do it, because you'll never regret doing it. You'll always regret not.
James, you're awesome. Thank you for being with us today.
Oh,
And
thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate you.
it's really great.